What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the number one comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Late Love and Marriage DC. This is season 2, episode 8. The episode is called What Lies Beneath. And before I get started, for those who are new to my channel, I do detailed reviews on reality shows. I don't do every single scene of a show. However, I try to pick up the most important details that stick out to me and maybe even pick up some details that I may find that you may have not. So, as I told you in my intro, I am YouTube's number one commenter. So, the primary focus of this channel is your comments, not mine. I'm already the number one commenter, but I need your comments to feed me that energy so we can laugh and go back and forth. We learn, debate, tell jokes and all of that. And as I said, if you want to know or you want to hear something funny, look in those comments. I'm not that funny. The comments are. And let's go ahead and get into this review. I am late, so after this one, I will have to do Married at First Sight. Maybe it come out tomorrow. Maybe I'll surprise it tonight. I don't know, but let's get this one done while we can before Saturday shows up, and I got to do another Love and Marriage DC. So this episode, it started out with Ashley returning home exhausted, and we learned that Quicksilver, he's been at the emergency room twice in 1 week, and that is pretty alarming. Now, Ashley discusses the situation with her children and her assistant, and just letting them know, like, in real life, Quick is a workaholic. So at this point, he's almost working himself to death, and everyone understands it. I guess someone working so much because there's a particular reason why they're doing so is like an addiction. And when somebody, your loved one or anyone, is addicted, it's no stopping them. When they're ready to stop or get help, that's when it'll happen. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter if the whole family's depending on him, it does not matter. When he's ready to make a change, it goes to the old saying I always say on my videos: only you know when you've had enough. And apparently, Quick hasn't had enough, because it's like it's one thing after another. First, it was with the gout and the wrist, and he couldn't, do the DJ thing. Now he can't talk. He can't be on the radio. Before, he was crashing his car multiple times because he was so exhausted from sleeping, which is a real thing. So that's why I think they kind of, maybe Quick stays somewhere during the week, because he act like he don't know what's going on when he come home during the week, like he catching up. So, like, he has to prioritize, or he could be putting himself in jeopardy as well as his family from working so much. So, you can't make people do nothing. But it's a shame when people, uh, if not for yourself, for your loved ones, because this is affecting everyone. So let's get off of that, because quick ain't gonna learn. So anyway, let's go to Jamie and Arena, and they visit Heart's Desire. Heart's Desires is a sex shop. It's on 18th Street in Northwest DC. It's like near the Adams Morgan area or whatever. And again, all those, like, what we see is kind of connected. Adams Morgan is connected to Florida. Florida is connected to U Street. U Street is connected to Howard University. It's like everything in a 10-block radius. And they looking to spice some things up, because the owners of the shop is Arena's friends, and they started to get all types of assortment of sex toys and going on. And Jamie's down with it. He like, hey, who wouldn't want to spice up their sex life? But he said one rule: no dildos, and I don't blame him. So we ain't doing that. But that kind of sexy night or mode gets kind of cut short, because Arena confronts Jamie inside the store about the way things went down at her wig launch. And, the argument just went like left when Arena said, plain and simple, Jamie was jealous of her. And that was her moment, her time to shine. And, that hit me. But Jamie came back and he didn't do no better. He telling Arena, like, well, listen, how I'm going to be jealous of you? I was with you when you was a nobody. And I was like, whoa. Like, I was offended for both of them. And, like, in both situations, all you had to do is change your wording. That's all had to be done. This wouldn't had this would have to go down like this. Like, for example, Arena could have said like, hey, it bothered me that on my night, my big wig launch, you kind of brought up the YouTube stuff, well, not YouTube, but the social media stuff, and that I gotta do the TikTok videos and all that. That wasn't the time and place. Maybe we could have discussed it later if that was a concern. I was focusing on my wig launch. It's gonna be bigger than all of that anyway. But like, it's gonna blow up because people loving Arena's wigs coming out. I hear it all the time. And Jamie could have said like, hey, like, oh no, I'm never jealous of you. I was with you when we started from the bottom and built all we had. So there's no way. And Jamie did. I like the line that he cleaned up and made it clear, like, if your wig launch is winning, I'm winning. Your success is my success. My success is your success. And that's a big key to a healthy marriage, partnership, and all that. Because Chris Rock said it best. He said a marriage is like being in a band. Sometimes you're the lead singer. Sometimes you play the tambourine. And when you play the tambourine, you better play that tambourine like you love it and you mean it. Because, the roles switch. There's no competition. There's no jealousy. The success is reciprocal. We're all winning together. So, that, like I said, I just would have liked that to gone different. But, things happen. So let's go to the next scene. We go to Winter, and we finally get to see some of her home life. Because I was like, all they doing is bringing Winter in to start trouble, confusion. But we get a little taste of Winter's home life. Winter got like 4, 5, 6 kids or whatever, but we only get to see one, her oldest. And her oldest daughter is Kayla. And when I say the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, and that doesn't mean Kayla looks like Winter. It's like she's 21 years old in college, and she already talking about getting married, having a baby, and it seems like Winter does that as well. And Winter was concerned, of course, naturally, as she should. Your 21-year-old child, daughter's getting married or talking about getting married and having a baby, and Winter wants like her to like slow down. I didn't like, it was just a me thing because like a lot of times people focus on the wrong thing. Where Kayla was saying like, "Hey, I got a ring," and it was, I guess, the initial of our soon-to-be son or whatever with an S or whatever, and Winter jumped to, "Oh, you got a thrift store engagement ring," and it's like the fact of the matter is like your daughter doesn't focus on the material, on that she just cares about getting a ring from her soon-to-be fiance, but they're not getting engaged. It's just a ring for the letter of their future child. You want to focus on as a parent, you want to focus on, does the person they're with treat them well? Are they kind? Are they supportive? Do they have something going on where they're building? Things like that. Not like, oh, he got you the biggest diamond. He can still a diamond. And does that make him a good fiance? It doesn't. But, Winter did make a statement where she said, like, she's like a sister best friend. Because, I don't like those terms. Granted that it is a gift when you can be close to your child, especially as a grown child, because it's not so much parenting, it's more like consulting. So you do want them to trust you because at this point, when they're older, the mistakes are actually bigger. So you would love to have them close with you, but you're really not. It's not designed for you to be their best friend or their sister or their brother or none of that stuff because you're supposed to parent. But I get what you're saying. They're really close in that way, but that's my personal opinion. That's how a lot of things get in disarray when the lines aren't drawn in real life. It's awesome to be close to your children, but you should not be their best friend. You should be their parent. And they should know that the words, your actions, everything that you do is in their best interest. You know. But let me get off of that. What's next? We're going back to Jamie and Arena, and they're going on a double date. They're meeting up with Ashley and Quick. They're going to the Black Cow restaurant now. I believe that's the one in Bowie, Maryland. I've never eaten there, but it's like a mid upscale type place. The food looks great, and by looking at it, I definitely want to get there. I'm going to get there. It's not far from me at all. And you know, Quick kind of he kind of discusses like what was going on with him about as far as like him losing his voice and his health and all of that. And Arena was kind of getting on him, and it's like it's something like what Quick has going on that I'm not a fan of. I don't like. Now he could talk about what's going on with him, and Jamie doesn't come down on him. It gives me a feeling like sometimes almost like he be trying to school Jamie. What regardless that Jamie is older, but it's just like it comes from a different place because you don't see Jamie saying, "Oh, Quick, you need to take better care of yourself and you need to be a man and all that kind of stuff and represent for your family and look out for your health." He listens, but Quick likes to take it to another level. Like again, him comparing his son to Lord Jamie's son or trying to come down like he's lecturing Jamie. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And they kind of got into a discussion where, you know, I don't know who brought it up. Was it Raina or Ashley had brought up about Jamie's blow up at her wig party? And again, Quick goes right in on it. And like I said, at this point, it got disrespectful. And Jamie said that like Quick was insinuating that Jamie has a drinking problem. And like, he blows up after he drinks. And the flashback all they showed was when Jamie went off on Lord Jamie at the going away party. To me, that one doesn't count. As I told you, if that was me in my shoes and my son was lunching out and disrespectful, I wouldn't have the strength to continue the show. I would look at the camera, break the third wall, and say, "Hey, this show is over." My son is, yelling at me and telling me get my hand out his face. So that didn't count. But the thing is, uh, yeah, it's just like with Quick, he's just coming off like real judgmental enough, and I can see how Jamie like kind of took offense of Quick's insinuating like, "Hey, you be saucing it up. Were you drunk? Were you on the sauce?" Nobody want to hear that, man. Like I said, you don't hear Jamie saying, "Oh, Quick, you're overworking. You don't care about your family and all that. What are you doing and all of that?" No one says that, so I really don't like that dynamic. So everybody's pretty much jumping Jamie at the table because even Arena was like, telling about the story, and they're like, and it was like a gang up, and you know, where Jamie lost his argument to me is when he told me, well, when they bringing the stuff up to him, he like, I didn't remember saying that. I'm like, no, Jamie, you gotta be remembering what you're saying because that's like saying like proving a point, like something is missing. So obviously, are you drinking so much that you can't remember or something like that? So like that's where he lose. That's where he loses the argument. And the thing is, I wanted to say like add another perspective to it because we're all watching. We don't know exactly what's going on. Or remember when Jamie and Lord Jamie were at the therapist's office, Dr. Cunningham, and they wanted to find out where was the fallout with Jamie and Lord Jamie. And Jamie had brought up like, "Hey, I got mad because he sent me a crazy text, and I've been drinking a little bit." And Dr. Cunningham was like, "Oh wait, now wait, you can't blame it on that. We're not going to do that." I think that Dr. Cunningham lost the opportunity to find out if Jamie is admitting to you saying like, "Hey, I was drinking and I guess I got out of control or whatever." You need to dive in there. Yeah, you can't use that excuse, but that can be a reason or some type of clue where something may be off or something you need to dive deeper into because he's telling you that. When people tell you stuff, believe him. He said, "Hey, I was drinking a little bit. When I got into that text, I got a little bit over emotional or whatever." Listen to him. Because guess what? Jamie got something going on if you don't notice, like in the show, when even if he was talking to Arena, he was just saying like about like his retirement. Retiring is a huge thing. Not that I have any experience in that, but one day soon I will be there too. And and you think about it, you're changing your whole life. Something that's been a part of your life for a very long time. The whole dynamic changes, like how you wake up, how long you're at home, the time you spend with your family. It's different, and it really happens a lot with like pro athletes because they dedicate like their whole lives to it. But it's no different when somebody spends 20, 30 years at a career and they no longer do it. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. And then also you got to think about getting older. What's your next step in life? How your life is going to be affected. So that could be going on too. Nobody ever brings that up because I hear Jamie mention about him being retired. Like when Arain is saying like, oh, he's home more, and Jamie's like, hey, I'm retired, but I ain't trying to stop not getting money or whatever. It's a thing. So yeah, I think it has to be explored a little bit more. That's what I'm thinking. And well, at this point, Quick need to kind of stay in line a bit. It's getting a little out of hand. It's getting a little out of hand. He's overstepping some bounds in more ways than one. So let's go with Ashley and her best friend Alicia. They're at the Patuxent Nursery, and that is really setting off alarm for me. Patuxent Nursery is like, let's say 5 miles from my house. It's like a place where you get things for inside and outside your home as far as decorations, plants, all those things. It's a huge place. You can spend all your money there. And it's making me believe that Quick and Ashley actually live close by, and probably, I'm guessing, allegedly, like Quick may stay in Baltimore or something during the week or whatever, and they like Ashley and Quick live somewhere close by. That's what I'm thinking, because there's no way they would just be at that store. It's on the main highway, and you wouldn't just travel to be there because you could go to anywhere. But that that scene made me think like with friends like Ashley, and you got to just include Alicia because that's her plus one, that's her best friend. They've been down for whatever, her real friend. As Ashley would say, who needs enemies? Because immediately they go in like kind of Ashley kind of was dogging Araina's event, like, oh, did you see that picture up there? She was using regular tape and all that. Instead of being supportive and coming and helping, all you got to do is like talk behind her back. The wig line launch was a success. And, you know, it's new, it's starting out. Why dog it? And it's going to win, and it's going to blow up and all those things. So, like, support it instead of like trying to tear the situation down. Because I don't think Ashley told Araina, well, you could, those tacky pictures up there with regular tape wasn't it. I know she didn't say that to her, so why do that behind her back? And they have Ashley and Alicia have a conversation, um, talking about Joy not really liking the fact that Ashley is still befriending Sharella, as Ashley would call her, while she's trying to befriend Winter, and Joy was like using that a reason not to come around. And I'm thinking like we're starting to see a pattern there. Like for all the reasons, Joy just doesn't come around. Does Joy want to be on the show? Because Ashley is extending the invitation to try to get to know Joy and Ash. I said Joy and Ashley, Joy and Clifton to come over their house because that's a personal thing or whatever. But they declined that too. They was both of them were sick at Arena's wig launch, and then they were sick before another, or they was out of the country here. I'm not buying that. And the thing is, it's like, why are they on the show at this point? If they don't want to film, if they just want to film with each other, it doesn't make sense. But something we do learn is that Alicia, I guess, somehow has some connection with Carmen. And that same conversation that Carmen had at that restaurant, which is Carolina Kitchen and Rhode Island Avenue in Washington, D.C., which I would never eat there because it was closed down for a food violation. I don't do that. When I see that, I'm funny about where I eat my food at. But on that past episode, it's like Carmen spilled all the beans about that conversation there. So obviously, which I never thought anyway, because how could Carmen really be Joy's true friend when she was interested in Clifton on the show? People was like, that never happened. Yes, it did. It did. Clifton just went Joy's way, so Carmen backed off. I guess she didn't want to be number two, or saw that she could not compete. But that relationship is very weird. You could be friends, but not like that close. That just don't make sense. But again, Joy got beef now with Ashley. She got beef with, of course, she got beef with Sharella and Black. We know that, but she's just making a thing like a reason not to show up or whatever. But let's go to the double date. We see a double date with Sharella. If I can call it a double date, but I'm gonna call it Sharella and Black. They having a cooking class at the chef's home, and they invite Winter and her new love interest, if we call that. The chef's home is a very large, beautiful, luxurious home, with the exception that it has no brick. That's one of my pet peeves. I hate to see that. A big old McMansion with no brick out front. It's like, I hate that. That's all I can say. I'm gonna get off that. But anyway, um, they to me, when you're in character or you're on this show, whether you're a friend of a show or not, we still want to see into your life. They show Winter's little townhouse. Why haven't they shown us Black and Sharella's house? I don't know. It's kind of weird. If you don't want to, they don't want to show. I don't want to, I don't want to see the people if they don't want to open up or they don't show us that. But and this on this scene, I actually like Sharella. It was funny how she got on Black saying like, "You ain't bring me no damn flowers," like because Winter's date brought her some flowers, and it was funny like Sharella like, "You need to step your game up, Black, or whatever. Bring me some flowers." And I mean, I think the whole scene was kind of funny, entertaining, but not. Winter told like a corny joke talking about, oh yeah, her date. If I wanted, he can handle a fishtail in the kitchen. That means he can handle a fishtail in real life. Stop it. But before we even go any further and get off this scene, I just need to know what was on Sharella's head. That triple poodle ensemble she had on that. Was that a wig? Was that a weave? I don't know wigs and weaves, but I know she needs help, and I know she needs a wig weave intervention immediately. Like, I hope she ordered something from Arena's catalog, maybe 2 or 3 pieces, because it's getting out of control now. I mean, it's like she doing like movie characters at this point. It needs to stop. But let me get off that because that was a problem. So as far as the last scene, Joy and Arena and Ashley, they meeting up like at a cycle class or whatever. And after the workout, you know, Joy's apologizing to who did she apologize to? Ashley or Arena for missing her wig line event. She's always missing events. And at this point, again, does Joy want to be on the show? That's what I want Raina to ask her. Do you really want to be on the show? And Ashley took that time to air her grievances out because she's like, I really came to kind of clear the air with Joy or whatever. And so Ashley is talking to Joy and Raina, and she brings up to Joy like, hey, what's going on with you thinking that me and Alicia are phony or whatever. And, Joy get the backpedaling and all that and kind of deflect it over to Sharella. Like, I don't like it. And I said what I said, but really you didn't say what you said at that dinner with Carmen. And I hope you get to Carmen about that because you know who told her. Nobody else would know that information. We know Clifton didn't go back and tell. And, now at this point, Joy's in her confessional time. Oh, I just want to go back to Mexico. And I mean, of course, I want to say Clifton, but if I could go right now, I would just go because I've never dealt with such immaturity with women. Now, she's talking behind Ashley's back and whoever else back. And now when she get called to the front, she want to run to Mexico. And she don't want to go to nobody party. It's everybody's fault except her. Like I said, I'm about to say one more episode, like why is Joy and Clifton on this show? But we're gonna keep going. Um, I like the way Ashley kind of maneuvered that conversation because she was trying to get to the bottom of it. But again, Joy backpedals, not taking accountability, trying to stay out of confrontation, even though she gossiping. So pretty much that was it. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what you thought of the show, thought of the review, what you want to add, something I missed. And be on the lookout for my Married at First Sight video. And as I always tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it and I really mean it.